All right. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, everyone. I hope you all had a great Christmas. And now that we got, and thank goodness, nothing happened, as far as any kind of terrorist activity in the States. That's a good thing. Glad to see we got past that and dodged that one, if you will. That doesn't mean we're out of the woods. I just think that gives us more time, which is good. We need the time. So, anyway, before we jump into anything on here, I just want to remind everyone that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches are going to boot you out of here because we're not going to have that. We want to have a good chat, and we want everybody to enjoy themselves. Again, if you have any statements or questions that you want to stand out, please all cap locks. It stands out for me more. So thank you for that. I do appreciate that as well. Because I know with the chat, once we get going, it's just it can kind of take off on its own, and I don't always see everything. But yeah, I mean, thank goodness nothing happened over the Christmas holiday. I know that there's a lot of people obviously still traveling. Next week, I mean, a lot of the kids are off right now, which is great, for the kids. Schools are closed, so they'll be heading back to work after work, back to school after the first of the year. So anybody that I didn't get a chance to wish Merry Christmas to, definitely want to tell you guys that again. If you've been traveling or busy, and I get it, it's that time of year, and a lot of people have been. So I hope you guys, like I said, I hope you got to either do what you wanted to do, spend it with the people that you wanted to spend it with, and I hope it was enjoyable for everyone. So, but anyway, did you see the CDC water event happening? I did not see that. I don't know what you mean or what you're referring to, so I can't comment on that because I have no idea. But anyway, of course, over Christmas, I don't know if you guys saw that, we did a retaliatory strike in Iraq against Iranian backed militants. And here's what I find amazing with that, okay, about this. Uh, oh, I saw that it was an assembly line plant, wasn't it, Peter? That there was a robot actually attacked a human. What's it going to take for inflation to go back to what it was 3, 4 years ago? Neighbor Bob, I honestly, I don't think you're going to see that happening. Honestly, I don't think you're going to see that going back to those levels. I wish it would. That would be great. I think we're all in for a really, really rude awakening. I want you to realize something, and I've actually talked about this a little bit over the last couple of years. Uh, it was at the Tesla plant. Okay, thanks, Mark. Um, Over the last couple of years, I have been saying what we are doing as a country, as far as financially, our commitments and all that type of stuff, it's not sustainable. It's just not sustainable. We can't continue to do what we're doing. There is going to be a tipping point at some point, and I think that you know, we're strongly on that way. Now, I've heard two different things. It's so weird. You hear these different things, and I guess it depends on who you're listening to. And I heard one that said sales, in retail were down really, really bad. It was not a good year for retail, with for Christmas. And then I heard somebody else, and I read another article, and it said, "Oh yeah, Christmas sales were, at record levels, and we're gonna have a robust 2024." And I'm like, I'm not seeing it. I'm just, from a personal perspective, the people that I talk to, and I talk to a lot of people on a regular basis, most people realistically are struggling. We're not where we were 3, 4 years ago financially. We don't have the disposable cash. So I find it hard to believe that everything is gangbusters and going so great. And I think the average person, if you ask them, they keep telling us, right? The pundits keep telling us how wonderful the economy is doing. Peter says we didn't buy anything for Christmas. I think a lot of people slowed way down, Peter. To be honest with you, because and if they did, a lot of people put and I know a lot of people do it every year anyway. Uh, but we had people spend it on credit cards. That's what they do. Jason Angry Prepper says something might happen on New Year's Eve in New York City. Let's hope not. That would be a very bad time for that. So let's put it like this: would I be surprised if something popped off in New York City at some point? Anyway, it wouldn't shock me at all, just because it's so densely populated. It's so big, and if they were able to coordinate and do something, the police presence for New Year's is enormous. So I have a hard time. Could something happen? Absolutely, something could happen anytime. That's the reality. Uh, New Year's, with the ball dropping and all that type of stuff, it's JJ said even the credit card companies are in a bubble. People are not paying their bills anymore because they can't. JJ, that's the problem. They can't. Let's not feel bad for the credit card companies, JJ, because they always win in the end, no matter what. Realistically, the banks that do the credit cards, at the end of the day, they always win. They always. What did I get on there? Oh, piece of fuzz. I'm like, what was that on my nose? But yeah, you should never have to go into debt for Christmas to prove that you love someone. I agree 100%, Okie Forge. I agree with you 100% on that one. Um, Showing someone that you love them does not mean that you go into big debt that you're trying to pay off the rest of the year. That's not a good thing. But I would have a hard time thinking that something might happen. Yeah, my peach fuzz. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I've not had peach fuzz for a very, very, very long time. Oh my God, that's funny. But anyway, yeah, what we're doing, what we're spending, and how we're spending our money, it's just not sustainable. We can't keep doing it. So when people talk about the debt clock and the debt clock, I'm going to tell you what, that's money that'll never be paid back. I'm telling you right now, it's way too much money. It is. Yeah, Dick Clark won't be performing this year. Well, he could be there. Is that too soon? Is that too much? I liked Dick Clark. I found it really, really sad, and this is strictly my opinion. After he had had his stroke, and they brought him back out there, and I was embarrassed for him, to be honest with you. I was like, man, they shouldn't do that. That was, that was. I don't know. That's just my take on it because I want to remember Dick Clark the way he was. I mean, like the ageless one for years and years and years. Every year. But what are you going to do? The longer SHTF takes to happen, the worse it will be. I think it's going to be bad no matter what, Nick. To be honest with you, I really do. There is. We're in big trouble. So, Ed, we gained 1 minute of daylight today. Awesome. I felt it. I felt it, Larry. Hey, as long as it's going in the right direction, that's a good. Yeah, I saw that Tom Smothers. That guy was 86, 86 years old, and they said he had cancer. So that's a good run. 86 is a good run. So, but anyhow, yeah, hey, it's 1 minute less of darkness. So it's going to take a while, but we'll slowly start to see the difference with the sunshine. And then it goes the same. We get to the summer solstice, which is in June, and then we start going down. So, you know, But anyhow, yeah, there's, like I said, I I don't make predictions and say Gen X is getting older and we're the last generation that lived when times were a little more normal. Yeah, I agree with that. They had its own problems, but it was more. It was. I look back. Growing up when I did, and I'm first Generation X, so the 64 is baby boomers, 65 was Gen X, so I'm the first year Gen X, but it was a different time, honestly. A lot, as kids. See, here's the thing: is there's always been weirdos and stuff out there that did crap, and we got told never getting a stranger's car and all those type of things. So it was a whole different mindset back then, but it's different now. So I want to share this one with you. I'm from the Rochester, New York area. Okay, I lived in Rochester, New York for years. Grew up small town, several small towns, but one of them was Scottsville, New York. And when I before we bought the homestead up in New York, we lived in Charlotte. They call it and it's not Charlotte. Charlotte's in North Carolina. Charlotte is in New York, bordering up to the city of Rochester, down by the lake. I was there for like 6 years, and then we moved from there, and we moved to Greece, New York, and we were in Greece for 8, I think. And there was when we first moved to Greece, it was still pretty decent, and then it just slowly deteriorated and went bad. So I'll tell you, because there's a point to this story. There was a mall called Irondequoit Mall that was in Irondequoit. Nice mall. Um, Too many bad elements in that area. There was a lot of theft, a lot of problems, and eventually Irondequoit Mall just said screw it and they shut down. The anchor stores I think stayed for a while, but the mall itself was done, and it's never done anything since. That whole area, they should have done something. I always thought they should have turned Irondequoit Mall into a casino personally, but they just have never done anything with that area. So after Irondequoit Mall closed down, there was Grease Ridge Mall in Greece, New York, which was not that far from where I lived when I was there. And it was a nice mall. It was a nice mall back then. The kids were little. We'd go to the mall. We'd hang out. And do our thing. And it was actually nice. Well, it slowly started getting worse and worse and worse because the bad element that now could not steal from Irondequoit Mall came to Grease Ridge Mall because it was the next closest mall. And I just saw yesterday, and somebody had posted, on Facebook. They were like, "What's going on over at Irondequoit Mall, or I mean Grease Ridge Mall? What's going on at Grease Ridge Mall?" There was cops all over the place. They had all the exits blocked and stuff like that. And somebody else came on and said there was a huge fight. There was a huge fight in the mall. Bunch of kids, and they went in there, and it was like 100 kids fighting, in the mall itself. And I'm like, what a shame. Because I'm going to tell you right now, anybody that spends money, wants to go to the mall to really spend money, they're not going to go to an environment, you know, they're not going to go to an environment where there's going to be violence or kids are acting stupid and stuff like that. I watched the security beef up through the years when we were there, you know, but I do like flavors of Pringles or just plain. I like just a plain, Larry. Yeah, I like just a plain. But everything is now moved to Henrietta. Well, Henrietta, that area has gotten bad too. The mall over in Henrietta is not a good mall anymore. The only mall up in that region up there that is any good is Eastview now. And you know why? I hate saying this, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna put it out there. You know why Eastview Mall is actually still halfway decent? It's not on a bus line. So, you actually have to get in a car and drive there, which people still can do, and they can still do stupid stuff, but it's not as easy to get to. So that mall over there, Eastview, is still pretty decent. Last I was there, which is eons and eons ago. I can't say now. You know what I mean? We could always ride a bike to any fishing hole, not worry about a thing back in the day. You're right, Chad. You could, yeah. I mean, things still happened. Pittsford's still nice. Well, Pittsford's where all the money's at, prepared for. That's where all the money's at. The money's in Pittsford. So that area is more heavily policed. I will put it like that. So I just saw, and I want to bring this up. I see things and I go, really? So when in California, starting next year, of course, California, because why not? That's where everything starts, and then it goes from California, and then New York adopts it, and then it goes from there. Um, they're starting a new law in California next year, where the cops cannot now come up, like they pull you over, and the cops cannot say to you, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" Right? Because then if you say, well, was I speeding or whatever, that you're giving them the ammunition to, write your own speeding ticket or whatever the case may be. Now the new law is they can't say that anymore. They have to come in and they have to say exactly why they're pulling you over. Because how many of us have seen the videos? Why'd you pull me over? Because it's a license and registration. Why'd you pull me over? Well, I'll tell you that after I see your license and registration. And then they have the big to do thing. But now I guess moving forward, the cops are going to have to state their business of why they're pulling you over when they pull you over, which I think is actually not a bad thing, realistically. Because a lot of us have been pulled over, and we know, yeah, cops like fit to fishing. Yeah, they sure do, Billy. They sure do. And I'll tell you what, a lot of times when I got pulled over, depending on the situation, and they would say, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And I would always say, "I have no idea. I have no idea why you pulled me over." And then they have to tell you, and then you have to go into the whole debate what, if you agree or disagree. So it's all fun. But anyway, that being said, we're at 387 in the chat. We got 152 thumbs up. Um, I back the blue. My daughter is a cop, and that's fine. I'm not telling you to back the blue or not back the blue. I will put it like this, and this is just strictly my opinion. Police are not the police of old. Police now are revenue collectors. That's what they are in a big sense of the word. They're looking to write tickets. It's all about revenue. It's really not in a lot of cases, and not in all cases. Please don't throw me under the bus for saying this, but it's not about to protect and serve in a lot of instances anymore. So, but okay, so Dawn says they have a ticket quota. All right, true story. I always tell stories and tell you guys. I used to take care of a state trooper's daughter. Okay, she was 5 months old, had a heart condition, and he was a state trooper. And so we're talking, like you do. And he had said to me, he's just sharing information with me. And he says, he says, they'll tell you that there's not a quota. If you ask the higher ups, they'll say, nope, there's not a quota. We don't have a quota. He goes, but if you don't write enough tickets as a state trooper on the highway, they're going to tell you you need to write more tickets. So what does that tell you? There is definitely and that's how they get their money. Certain amount of money goes to the state, certain amount of money goes to the troopers. And they stop crimes and stuff like that? Of course they do. But I feel a lot of times that a lot of police officers, okay, not all, so please don't, like I said again, I will never lump all of them into one category, but I feel like a lot of them are just revenue collectors. That's what I call them. So, but I stay within a certain thing when I'm driving, and you know, luckily I have not been pulled over in a very long time, and I hope, knock on for Micah here, that continues. I don't want to have an interaction if I don't have to have an interaction. So, but anyway, so oh, and yes, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel, and I thank you ahead of time. It really does make a huge difference with the algorithms as well, so thank you for that as well. Again, uh, um, if you are not a subscriber to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time. Of course, always like, comment, and share. That's, all part of that good stuff. So thank you. Look up how many tickets are issued at the end of the month. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, there's, you know, I try to keep my stuff squared away. So there's no reason to pull me over. Like I'll tell you, whenever I see somebody that has a headlight out or a tail light out, any of that stuff, if I can pull up next to them, I'll tell them, hey man, you got a tail light out or you got a headlight out, because that is a perfect reason for the police to pull you over, and that could turn into something worse. So. Ed, what is the backup heat source for the camper and other buildings? Right now for the camper, the only is propane right now for the camper. I have, the fire or the wood stove in the pavilion. Uh, right now on site, we have the wood stove in the pavilion. There is a wood stove in Mark's, and Sandy has a small, camp stove for her tent. I have a wood stove sitting out back behind the camper covered, and there is another wood stove sitting on the porch of the blue house. So neither one of those are hooked up. So could we, if we had to? Absolutely yes. So there is, but the primary heat source down here is going to be the wood stove. Oh, I got to show you guys something. Hold on a second. So one of my group members sent me this awesome fleece. So she said they run small. So she got an extra large, or extra large. So let's see, while we're all here together, we'll see how this fits. But this is a fleece jacket. So let's take a look. Let's see what we got. And then I'm going to take it off because I'm not cold. But let's take a look. Now I can also wash this. Actually, it fits really good. Actually, it fits very nicely. Arms are good. See. So yeah. Oh, hi, Hella. So yeah, that's if I wanted to shrink a little, I could wash it, but that is going to come in nice and handy, especially when it gets colder. So a quick thank you to Kim for that. That is awesome. Ed, where are you getting all these wood stoves? Well, some like Mark had his own wood stove. Actually, it was his grandfather's wood stove that he put in to there. The wood stove put into the pavilion. My buddy Eric up in Washington D.C. He donated that to us, which is a beautiful, beautiful wood stove. And so that's where that one came from. The one behind the camper here, that was also given to me by somebody that follows the channel way back when we first got the camper here. And he said, hey, I got this wood stove. Would you like it? I said, sure. I said, I'm not going to need it right away, but I definitely will use it down the road. And said, okay. So he, brought it here to me. And I can't remember his name. I would like to be able to say it was so and so, but I don't remember what his name was. But that's where we got that one. And so, yeah, and then the other wood stove for the blue house, Eric got that one too. So, but Yeah, so like I said, we will continue to expand and add on as we go. And I know that a lot of the guys, are you still planning on getting rabbits in the future? Yes, Okie Forge. Rabbits are in the future, goats are in the future. And so Larry said it's 48 in West Virginia. Yeah, we were in the 50s today. I mean, it was a nice day. Other than, well, let me rephrase. Let me rephrase that. This morning it was raining, misty, crappy. It had rained all night long. It was pretty steady rain all night long. And so there's actually, Peter, there's sheep up in the area up here where I'm at. There's sheep, there's cows, goats, all those type of things. But yeah, there's a lot of things that would possibly be available to barter and trade with when the time comes. So, but we're definitely going to planning on having our own animals here at the homestead to be able to have our own sources of meat and and everything else. Uh, like with goats, cheese and milk and that type of stuff. So, but that is the way we plan on doing that. But anyway, so the first part of the day was not pleasant at all, weather-wise. It was still rainy and misty. Probably 2 o'clock, I think, is when it finally stopped raining, and then it actually was a nice afternoon. It wasn't bad at all. So, but after that, it was like I said, it was a fairly decent day after that. So that's kind of what I'm basing it on. The ground is completely soaked out here right now. I'm actually thinking tomorrow in the morning is going down to the waterfall and do another video down by the waterfall because the streams and everything around they're jamming right now. So I am pretty sure that waterfall is running really really well, and so I think that would be really really cool. Uh, it's like the only thing that sucks. So now the waterfall is beautiful. It's awesome to see. The only thing that sucks about the waterfall, folks, is to walk back up the hill. And I know that some of my members can attest to that because we have walked down there. It's been a while since I've been down there, but yeah, that clay gets slippery when it's wet. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yeah, I bet it is too, Mark. That's why I was thinking today. I was thinking, man, maybe I'll take a walk down there in the morning. And so I gotta explain something too. So anybody that watched my earlier video today, and I had like my little half muck boots that I wear there all the time. They're very comfortable. I have regular muck boots. I actually have a couple of pair because again, one is none and two is one. I have regular muck boots that I generally will wear, but if I'm just running out to the chicken coop or something, I just slip on the smaller ones. And if it's wet out, both feet have holes in the bottom because I've worn the crap out of those rubber muck boots, or the half muck boots, whatever you want to call them. But those things are freaking awesome. Now I'll show you the. This is not a boot brand, but I have a pair of regular muck boots as well. These are the ones I use a lot, like when we're working outside, as you can obviously tell, because this one's all dirty. But these are freaking awesome too. But yeah, it's definitely good to have backups and stuff like that. But you know, but yeah, I may run down, like I said, tomorrow, and if I run down there tomorrow, I'll be wearing those. So. Um, but yeah, it's just they work great. They absolutely work great. How about moon boots? I don't know. I've never. I generally, like I said, those ones there. I believe I got at Tractor Supply, and then I also bought a pair of regular muck boots. I think were from Tractor Supply as well. So, but yeah, it just depends on what your flavor is, what you're willing to spend. You get into the muck boot brand name, it's going to be more expensive, but they work. So you get them clean in the stream, right? So Angela Fleming, topic Ed. Yeah, we'll get to that. Angela, come on. We're only a half an hour into the stream and we haven't even talked about the topic at all yet. I did actually briefly touch on it. I did briefly touch on it. So worth $120 to spend on them? I think so, Dawn. I think they're worth it, because the fact is, if it's keeping your feet warm and dry when you're out in the woods and all those type of stuff, that's not a bad thing, and that's what you're getting them for. And if you have to work in the crappy and stuff like that, like I wear them a lot of times when we go down into the bunker, if there's any kind of wetness and stuff like that, which I'm sure right now I'm going to have to go and check, that there might be a little water in the bunker right now. So all right, so let's talk a little bit more. Well, first, before we do that, we're at 403 in the chat. We got 206 on the thumbs up. So again, if you have not shot that thumbs up yet, again, I would ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. Again, I thank you ahead of time for that. It really does make a huge difference with the algorithms as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time. But Mark goes, I hate buying boots, but definitely worth spending the money on. They are. They absolutely are. So anyhow, over while everybody was celebrating Christmas, we did some calculated strikes in Iraq against Iranian-based things that we said were responsible for a lot of the attacks that were going on to our bases in the region. Is that going to make any difference? Could that accelerate things? Here's my thought, okay? And this is just my thought on this, guys. If we did not have our people in harm's way, they could not be attacked. All right. That's kind of how I feel about it. If we didn't have our people over there as a target, so yeah, I saw Israel got an Iranian general. Yep, and Iran is threatening revenge against Israel for that. So, and today I watched a video with 158 likes and 56 views. Oh, that's bizarre. That is definitely bizarre. But if we didn't have our people there, they couldn't attack our people. That's the way I feel about it, So here's the other part. Yeah, they're being used for bait. I said that, JJ, in another stream. I believe that that's exactly what it is. They want us, the powers that be, the people, whoever in control of this country, want to get us into the next conflict, because regardless of what they say of how wonderful the economy is doing, I'm not buying it. Ed, have you ever had a pair of desert boots? I never had a pair of desert boots, because I was never, when I was in, I just had the regular black boots that we all wore. So I never had the pair of desert boots, no. But I think that would be good to have, to be honest with you. I definitely think that would be good to have. But anyway, again, our people are being put in harm's way because the powers that be, and it's strictly my opinion, okay, they want to get us drawn into this conflict over there against whoever. We don't care. I don't think they care if it's Iran or whoever the case may be. It's just somebody else to be the boogeyman, to utilize for the industrial military complex to just make a ton of money off of that situation, while your and my sons and daughters go and die for that. And I don't think that is a good enough reason anymore to do that. Our young men and women should not be put in harm's way. They shouldn't be. So, alls they are, again, in my opinion, they are a target right now. Okay. How often did you shine your boots in basic? All the time, neighbor Bob. All the time. So yeah, they had to be at a certain standard. So yeah. But we're talking about the main topic, Carlos, right now. We're talking about the main topic right now. Um, you know, so we did this strike. Is it going to make any difference? Who knows? But it's just if we're going to be there, and again, I'm going to give you my opinion. If we're going to be there, which we are, we got to stop doing crap with our one hand tied behind our back and these little bitty strikes here and these little bitty strikes there. We need to put the fear of God into these people. All right. That's my opinion. If you're going to do it right. Light them up. Light them up. That's how you stop it. So when you do this, you've probably heard the term pussyfooting around, right? That's what we're doing over there right now. We are not unleashing the beast, if you will. We have the capability of putting a serious hurt on these people. I'm sorry, I don't buy that if you know where these bases are and you know where these people are and you know where they're based at, wipe them out. Wipe them out. Exactly. Show them who the boss is. But we don't because we just play these little games and we play these little games. So do you think there will be a draft? That would depend. I don't think we'll see a draft until we're into some kind of a major conflict and they want to get as many people in there as they can. Then I think they would reinstate the draft. But again, so let's say they did reinstate the draft. You look at our society now, right? 40% probably would be ineligible to be fit for service because they're too fat. And we're talking about young men and women, folks. We're not talking about, as we get older, we have that tendency to gain a little weight. It happens. It's not like you get skinnier when you get older. It's not like all of a sudden you go, well, back in the day, I was 230 pounds and I got older and now I've slimmed right down to, 170. It's awesome. It doesn't work like that. Generally, once you cross over that certain line, you keep crossing over that certain line. You have a whole generation right now that would not be fit for combat, in strictly my opinion. Okay, strictly my opinion. When their biggest concern is what pronouns they need to be called. It's absolutely insanity. It's absolutely insanity. And I'm going to tell you who will go and fight. I'll tell you right now who will go and fight. It's your small town kids. It's your city kids. Your poor. That's who's going to end up going and fighting. Because if somebody can get that exemption and go to college, and protest and do all the nonsense that goes on there, that's what they're going to do. So, it's just, I hope there's not a draft. Okay. I hope there's not a draft. But I think this next war won't be fought that way anyway, to be honest with you. If we get into a major conflict, folks, listen, this is again, I'm just going to give you my opinion and my opinion only. It is a matter of time before we are in a conflict with China. Okay? Matter of time. Several reasons. China wants expansionism. They're claiming certain things in the South China Sea. Obviously, Taiwan would be another one that they say is theirs. It's going to be back to them. The issues with the Philippines. They're saying that certain things are theirs when everybody else is saying no, it's not. And so we, the United States, if you guys, and we've talked about this one too, we are reopened a bunch of bases in the Philippines because now we have a friendly government in the Philippines. And because there's these hostilities between the Philippines and China, the Philippines know they can't beat China. They know they can't beat China. So it's not even a matter of anything other than that. So they have to rely on the United States of America. So we had all these bases over there that were closed that are now reopening. We are loading up over in that area because our government knows it is a matter of time. It's a matter of time. And we're not even going to talk about all the ships and everything that we got over in the Red Sea and dealing with all of those type of things right now as well. Uh, you know, and again, Whispering Pines makes a great comment. We are spread too thin, and I agree 100%. Had a conversation today with one of my group members. We were kind of messaging back and forth, and he sent me a video, and we're talking about Rome, right? And how many times, folks, have I said through the years, we are the modern day Rome. The United States of America is the modern day Rome. All right. So, what happened to Rome? Rome crumbled from within, basically. All right. And the problem with Rome was, number one, they were spread too thin. The troops were all over the place, spread out, dealing with this conflict, dealing with that conflict. That's where we're at right now. We are spread too thin. We have too many ducks in too many different ponds. I mean, now, and we haven't even talked about North Korea and South Korea, right? Haven't even talked about that. How we just had a nuclear submarine over in that area for the first time in a long, long time. When Kim Jong Un just did his latest missile test, that we flew bombers over in that region. So, there's a lot of conflict going on in a lot of different places, and it takes one thing to set off that powder keg. So, you know, the problem also with Rome was that Rome, again, overspending, not bringing enough income in to take care of all the things that they needed to do. Does that sound familiar? What's going on right now? So, what do? Rome, they distracted you. They, had the games, and they would feed people, and they would take care of them, and they would entertain them to keep them distracted. What do you think's happening right now, right? Are we not being distracted constantly? Different things going on, events and games, and we have, now, don't get me wrong. Like, I love baseball. I love football. Not going to lie. I do. Those are my favorite two sports. I loved to play basketball back in the day. I love college basketball. I think college basketball is awesome. It's very entertaining. I don't watch pro basketball um, because it's not about teams anymore. It's about me, the individual, and a lot of them don't care. It's different. When I grew up watching basketball, you know, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan and all those guys. That was, I mean, when the Bulls brought in Dennis Rodman, right, and they had Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, and Michael Jordan, and then you added a few pieces here and there. They were some freaking great teams. Hakeem Olajuwon, yeah, I mean you had Moses Malone, Isaiah Thomas was another one. Yeah, I mean, you had the bad boy Detroit Pistons. I mean, there were some great teams back in those days, and now they're it's different. Yeah, the Harlem Globetrotters. Yeah, they were entertaining too. Yeah, Kevin McHale, you know, so Danny Ainge even, so but you had some great teams back in the day, and it was fun. It was fun. It was entertaining to watch because, you had the Lakers and the Celtics basically, and they had some fantastic teams. Kurt Rambis, guys, remember him on the Lakers back then with the big black Coke bottle glasses? Yeah, Hella's here. She's here. She's chilling out. But anyway, we're distracted by entertainment. So be it your favorite musician or whatever television show that you're watching, there's a lot of distractions going on so that you're not focusing on what the problems are, and that's what they do. Okay, that's what they do. So and that's what people don't understand. They just don't get it. They never will get it. And so as Rome burns to the ground, people go, I can't believe that this is happening, you know, but we're there, folks. We're there. And by continuing to put our troops and our service men and women in harm's way, with one of the strikes that just happened over there in Iraq, one of the service members they said is probably critically injured, which I mean, it's probably if the person lives and they haven't said who the soldier was yet, probably going to be messed up for life. If they were critically injured, they might not even make it. So then you had two other service members that were injured as well. So again, if we're going to be there, which obviously we are, okay, we're not leaving. then we need to do it the way we need to do it. We need to show them who the boss is, and all these little militant little cells of this, that, and the other thing. We need to burn them to the ground. Period. I'm sorry. I know that that sounds heartless and harsh of me, but if you kill the enemy, here's a thing for you folks. If you kill the enemy, they can't come back and fight and kill you another day. All right. Why do you think? Why do you think the world is up in arms and you have the UN is going, Israel needs to stop. Israel says, we're done playing. You are never going to do this to us again. And their goal is to wipe out Hamas, not cripple Hamas, not give Hamas a big blow. Their goal is to wipe out Hamas. And that's what they're doing, And I'm sorry, but guess what? I know some of you may agree, some of you may disagree. Good for Israel. Good for Israel. Because you screw around, so there's an old saying also, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard this one. You mess around with a bull and you get the horns. And that's what happened with Hamas with Israel. That's how it goes. So, anyway, what we're going to do now, I'm going to ask for another thumbs up. We're at 240 or 423 in the chat. We got 246 on the thumbs up. So again, if you have not shot up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel, and I do appreciate that again this time. Also, it does make a huge difference with the algorithm, so I thank you for that reason as well. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So, egg count for here. How many eggs today, and did the white hen lay, yes or no? So I'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses, and we will go from there. So I'll give you guys a moment, and I will let you know who the winner is. And in the meantime, I am going to have a delicious sip of green tea. Do you like the movie Hoosiers? Love that movie, Neighbor Bob. Good movie. I don't know if you guys saw too. Bobby Knight died. Speaking of Hoosiers, in Indiana basketball. All right, guys. If you had the same exact guess as Billy the Kid Norwood with 3 eggs today and yes for the white hen, then you are 100% correct. So they have been pretty steady, even with the weather not being as cooperative and nice as you would hope it would be. But they've been pretty steady for me. So I am not going to complain. Getting any eggs is a good thing. So here's a question. I know somebody was asking, what am I doing with all the eggs, right? Well, I do eat some of them, obviously, but I cannot eat as many as they're laying. So what I do a lot of times, like right now, we have our next get together in a couple of weeks. So when we do our next get together, I just keep putting eggs and stocking them up, and we'll eat the eggs from the hens here, and that's what we're going to end up doing. Yeah, 3 eggs makes a nice omelet. Yep. Yeah, I generally, if I'm eating them, I'll eat 3 at a time. I did some hard boiled eggs, so I'll hard boil like 6 eggs at a time. Make a couple of egg salad sandwiches, like 2 eggs per egg salad sandwich, and then I'll go ahead and eat the other ones. Just eat the hard boiled eggs. So deviled eggs are awesome too. Yes, Mac, they're absolutely awesome. So I do give Hella eggs here and there. Yep, yep. I'll put it right on top of her food, and that's actually really good for their coat. So, but no, I'll tell you again. If you've eaten store bought eggs your whole life, you have no idea what you're missing. If you've ever had a chance to eat farm fresh eggs, you're never going to want to eat store bought eggs again. The taste is different. The coloration is different. All of it makes such a big difference. So, you know, but that is my opinion, and who am I, right? but there is definitely a difference in taste. I will that yep the yolk are brighter. Yep, absolutely. So, but you were thinking same as Genghis Khan, and it works every time. Yeah, Emil, absolutely. Genghis Khan, when he would take over, or was it when he was attacking a city, they would just circle the city, and then they would kill everything, and it would come down to the last one, and they would leave one alive. But they killed everything. They killed all the animals. They killed all the people. They left one person alive. Genghis Khan, when he was the ruler, two things happened. The carbon in the planet went down because he killed so many people, number one. And his bloodline, because he slept with so many women and had so many kids, there was that too. So there's a lot of those people in that region of the world that are direct descendants of Genghis Khan because he impregnated so many women. And that is a true. If you want to look it up, look up the history of it because it's true. Just got an ad for Gaza 8. Oh my God, that's too funny. No, I'm sorry. You know what? I feel bad for so I feel bad, and then again at the same time I don't feel bad. Okay, so I'm going to make my point on this, and so you kind of understand where I'm coming from. What you have to understand. Okay, so I'm ex-military, and I have seen the cluster F that the military can be. Okay, what we used to do a lot of times, we used to call it green weenie. We'd be standing in formation. They would give us some crap that we got to do this or now we got to do that. And, it was kind of like a joke. You do a half right face and then you bend over and you touch your ankles because you're about to get screwed by the big green weenie once again. And that would be the Army. Okay. Um, it was a mess, disorganized, um, unbelievable, unbelievable. When you have I'll give you an example of something, okay? And this just kind of goes to show what it's like, okay, in the military. So you have, soldiers come in, they cycle out. Some soldiers stay for a long time, and there's some great soldiers that stay and they, make a career out of the military. And then you have your morons, okay, that stay because that's all they got. That's all they got. And so you have to promote them over a certain period of time. So now you got E5s, E6s that are idiots. And I say that with the most sincerity that I possibly can. That they are idiots, okay? And they have to have them in there because they've been in there for so long. They're doing their time so they can get their pension and then they can get out. It happens, folks, and it happens in any job. I don't care where you are, but when it's in the military, that can be a dangerous thing because, again, you get into a situation, and if you have a moron in charge, you're going to be in trouble, and stupid people get people killed in a combat situation. It's just the way that it is. That's a reality. But anyway, when I was in, we were not in war, so it's a different thing. When you're in a combat and war, it's different, and I get it. Okay, I mean I get it, but still, stupid people get good people killed, and that's a reality. But it's I don't want to see our men and women over dying in other foreign countries, so people can just make a bunch of money. You know what I mean? I don't want to see that. So the rich can get richer, so that we can have an excuse for now the economy is doing better because of all that nonsense. Don't need to see it. I don't want to see it. So, and war is good for the economy. That's a fact. And so now that we've pulled out of Afghanistan and left all kinds of billions of dollars, well, millions, we'll go with millions of dollars worth of supplies there for the Taliban to take over, which is a documented fact. You know, I mean, Neighbor Bob, if Trump wins, do you still think we might get into a war? Neighbor Bob, that's a good question. I honestly, if Trump gets back in, I think he will try to avoid it as much as he possibly can. But I honestly believe um, that we are on a juggernaut and we will be at war with China at some point. And if not China, they'll pull us into some conflict in the Middle East and get us involved in some more crap over there. Uh, there will be a war at some point. If Trump, see, here's obviously the difference in leadership makes all the difference in the world. The world right now knows that we have allegedly, let me put it like that, allegedly a very weak leader right now, a very weak leader. So the world, that's how the world feels right now. When we had Trump as the president of the United States, nobody screwed with us because he was considered a loose cannon. They did not want to get tangled up with Trump because Trump wasn't going to play. And so, that's the reality. And I think if Trump does get reelected and becomes president again, I think it's going to give us more time to prepare because he will strengthen the military once again. He will get things more squared away, you know. So that's just, and that's my opinion. I'm giving you my opinion on that. So you asked, that's my opinion. Uh, you know, I don't think that there's any way, shape, or form, again, in my opinion, that Biden would ever be reelected after what he's done with the economy. I don't think you're seeing him get reelected. I just don't. Because I think people need to also realize, let's say Biden and Harris are the ticket once again for the next election. People better start going and praying that whoever runs against him beats him. Because do you think Biden's going to make it another 4 years if we got another whole year, folks. We got another whole year yet that we got to hope this guy stays alive. If he dies, Harris would be our president. That should scare the crap out of people. That should scare the crap out of people because I call her the laughing hyena. She should frighten the crap out of all of you. She really should. Because with her in charge, we'd be in big, big trouble. Big trouble. So that's my opinion. And that's where I stand with that. So anybody that got their start in politics allegedly by dropping to their knees, I don't want that type of person in charge. What she did as a prosecutor in California, I don't want that type of person in charge. So I mean, that's just my opinion on that. So, uh, so anyway, like I said, down here, we're going to continue to do what we're doing. I know that the guys that got buildings in here, they're looking to get their wood stoves in play, get them in, get their solar system set up, and all that type of stuff. So given enough time, that's the biggest thing. We just need time right now. We need time, and if we get the time, we're going to be in much better shape because that shoe's coming down. That other shoe is going to drop at some point, and none of us are going to see it coming. Uh, you know, even if we know that something's coming, when it happens, I mean, I was talking to a guy the other day, and basically I was saying to him, we need more time, and he looked at me and he said, "Can you ever be 100% ready?" And I went, "No." Nobody's going to be 100% ready. No one. But the more ducks that we line up and put in a row, the more things that we can take care of before something goes sideways, it's going to increase our chances to be successful down here. And that's the way that I look at it. Uh, you know, we we get our rain catchment set up. We get the wood stoves into places where people have buildings. We get more solar set up down here for the people that have buildings. we get our greenhouses in and start doing that, we're going to be in a lot better shape, lot better shape. And again, it's just it's one of those things that's going to take time with anything. I mean, we had such a tremendous year this year, here at the homestead. I mean, beyond my expectations of what we could accomplish this year, and so that's been amazing to me. If you look at it, you look at what just buildings alone, right? We have 5 new buildings in here this year, 5. So right, 5, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 5. I had to think for a second. Five new buildings came in this year, and shelter's big, folks. Shelter is big, and so with people getting their places squared away and working on their places, it'll come together. It will come together. It's just like I said again, it's going to take time. Uh, what are you building your home out of? Log cabin or other materials? Probably other materials. I'm not going to do a log cabin, Larry. It won't be a log cabin. So I'm not 100% sure how I want to do it yet. I really got to sit down and plan it out and figure cost and all those type of stuff. The thing that I'm going to do is I'm not going to rush. And you know, could Newsom be president if Biden is out? God, I hope not. Yeah, he's screwed up California so bad out there. He's a pretty boy, so he's going to have that attraction with some people. But I don't know. That would be kind of scary too, to be honest with you. I mean, I can't see honestly. There's only a few people that I think that have really halfway decent shot of doing something positive. But again, if you have a politician, if you have a career politician, that's an issue. That is an absolute issue, and it doesn't get better. You know what I mean? So, all right, let's do this. I'm going to ask again. What are we? 392 in the chat. We're at 286 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, let's go with 325. Let's see if we can hit 325 thumbs up, because why not, right? So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do so to show support for the channel. Will you have an escape hatch in the floor like Mel Gibson had in his RV? Well, we can't give away all the secrets, Grumpy. Can't give away all the secrets. But again, it really makes a big difference with the algorithm. So I thank you for that reason as well, for shooting that thumbs up. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So the goal is 325 thumbs up. We are at 299. So 26 more, folks, please, and thank you ahead of time. All right. We're going to start out with Heavenly Hills Homestead. Growing giant vegetables, real good guy. Ryan is really down to earth, and we definitely should be supporting him. There is Icky Can up in Canada doing living off grid up there. Do you see a list? Yeah, there's the list. My wonderful dirty list that sat out in the rain, and then I plucked it out of the rain and it dried off and it works just fine. Just got a little dirt in there, permanent dirt. There is Angry Prepper. That is Jason down in New York City. Jason is awesome. Just so you guys know, Jason is not going to be coming here to the homestead in January, but he'll be here for a visit in February when we do our get together down here. So Jason plans, which is Angry Prepper, plans on coming down in February for that weekend get together. There is Alaska Prepper. That is Rudy. Rudy's a great guy. Definitely somebody we should be supporting as well. There's also Alaska Granny. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance, 2 different channels, same guy. Unbelievable master builder. Very interesting to watch what he's doing up in Canada. So definitely show him some support as well. You have Demcad. I like Demcat as well. Says it like it is, and I really like that. There is Corporal's Corner, Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. There is Bizariza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles. Good story, definitely worth a listen to. There is Marfugal News, that is Adam and Dax out on the West Coast. You have Magic Prepper in North Dakota. Wranglestar, that's Cody, another really good channel, a lot of good information on his channel. There's Red Poppy Ranch. You have Survival Lily coming at you out of Europe, gives you a lot of good information. There's Kyle's Cabin, Kyle and Sierra up in Minnesota. There, nice young couple. There's Bush Radical and Girl in the Wife Team, two different channels. A lot of great information with them, so definitely check them out as well. You have Green Greg's. There is Southern Prepper One doing his Boots on the Ground series. Definitely a good guy, a lot of good information there. Gray Man Prepping. There's Truly Tara 76. She does makeup videos, really nice lady. Definitely show her some support. You have Doug and Stacy. Doug and Stacy have been around for a long time. Really good people. A lot of good information on the channel. You have the Nomadic Movement down in Panama. A nice young couple down there. There's the Green Dream Project in Arizona. Somebody saying choppy, cutting off a lot. Really? Oh, that's weird. No, my internet's fine, guys. My internet is working fine. We have Camping with Steve Wallace, who does stealth camping. So definitely check him out as well. Really, a lot of fun. That's more of a fun channel. Bush Doctor Survival. There's Monkey Works. We have the Needy Homesteader. She's been around for a long time. And so definitely check her out as well. Boss of the Swamp is another really good channel. He's been around for a long time. Another master builder. There is Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch, Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Diamond's a very smart guy, definitely worth a listen to. And can't hear you anymore. Well, try going out and coming back in. If you're having issues, guys, try signing out and then signing back in and see if that helps. Because on my end, everything seems to be working just fine. So if you're having any issues, sign out, sign back in. Okay. We have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. There is City Prepper. You have Lumina Acres. Suspicious Observer, giving you all the information of what's going on with the sun. Very, very cool. Bear Independent, The Uneducated Economist. You have Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. There is Mary Greeley News, giving you all the latest of what's going on with Yellowstone and everything like that. There's Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner. Ice Age Farmer. If you're going to get your weather, there's only one guy that you should be getting your weather from, Ryan Hall, y'all. Ryan Hall's a great guy. Definitely check him out. All right. You have Russell Brand. Russell Brand is also a guy like it is. I like his channel. So definitely go show him some support as well. You have Deep South Homestead, another very family friendly oriented channel. Definitely check them out as well. You have The Outsider. There is also Betting on Alaska, a young man that is Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods son. So he's got a new channel. Definitely show that young man some support. It'll be interesting to see his progress moving forward. There's the Fit Farmer. You have Prep Rebel, Simple Life Reclaimed. There is Townsends. Townsends is another really interesting channel. Shows you what it's like to live in the 1800s. There's the Prepared Mind. You have Pinball Preparedness down in Tennessee. East Tennessee Preparedness, the Economic Ninja, and last but not least, Little House Off Gritty. So we're at 309 in the thumbs up. The goal's 325. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, again, please do so to show support for the channel. Very much appreciated. Let's see if we can hit our goal. We're at 310 now, so we need 15 more. So if you have not done so, please do so. We should be supporting each other. I think it's important, and that's why I like to give the shout outs. There's a lot of good channels out there, a lot of good information out there. So now we're at 315. So we need 10 more thumbs up, guys. 10 more thumbs up that hits our goal of 325, because why not, right? So anyway, I'm going to always encourage you guys to continue to prep. Don't be victims. be proactive. The more proactive you are, the better off you're going to be in the long run. So everything that you do to put you in a position to win, do so. All right, absolutely do so. So we're at 319. We need 6 more thumbs up, guys. So let's keep that. And then once we hit 325, if you want to keep it rolling after that, that's perfectly fine. I would never say no. So, but again, if you're proactive, good things are going to happen. And it little at a time. Ed, do you check the deer blind in other buildings on a daily basis? There's leaking or other problems. I don't, Larry. I'm not going generally into somebody else's building if they're not. If they asked me to check on it, I absolutely would. But to me, it's not mine, so I kind of leave it alone. If one of the guys or the ladies said, "Hey, man, check on my stuff for me," I would do it in a minute. I'll give you an example of something, and this just kind of goes to show to the character of the people in my group. And I'm going to use Mark as an example. Mark told me, he said, "Listen, if it ever gets really bad down there and it gets really, really cold, and you need to go sleep in the deer blind," he said, "go ahead and do it." And that's awesome, and I appreciate that. I probably, if it got that bad, I probably would do it. You know what I mean? So, and so that's if I got to that point and I had to do it, I would absolutely do it. But the fact that he said, you can go ahead down there and do that if you need to, I really appreciate that. And we should be fine. We got through last winter. We'll get through this one. So if you guys did not watch my earlier video today, I do plan on starting to build in the spring, possibly in March. I'm not 100% sure when I'm going to get started, but I want to start looking at getting my building in, and I'm going to build is what I've decided I'm going to do. I need room for storage. You know how I am with stuff. I like to have my stuff. So if I have a lot of room that I can store things, it'll make me happy. Camper's been great. I love the camper. It's worked, but I definitely need more room. So anyway, we are Legion because we are many. We are all over the country. We're all over the world. Where is everybody from tonight? So let's do that. And I see we hit 325, which is awesome. If you want to keep the thumbs up going, that would be awesome as well. We got Rhonda up in Dayton, Ohio, Franklin County, Ohio, Nowhere, Oklahoma with Okie Forge, Omaha, Nebraska with Larry, middle of Michigan with Whispering Pines, Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house, Central Iowa with Robert, UP of Michigan with Dawn, BC, Canada with Emil, beautiful Pennsylvania Wilds with Pennsylvania Granny. You got Chicago's in house, Michigan, East Central Illinois, Ontario. There is Georgia, Southwest Ohio with Barbara. We got Virginia's in the house with Critter Lover, BC, Canada with Janet. We got Michigan in the house, New Jersey with Rick, Charlotte County, Florida with Gloria. Got Batavia, New York with Prepared For. Troutman, North Carolina with Troy. Belgium is in the house. Glad to have you here. Thank you for staying up late with us with DeHoller. Tucson, Arizona with Angela. Central New York with Village Homestead. Cashton, Ohio with Lulu. Anderson, South Carolina with Little Stumpy. We got Connecticut in the house with Matt. Union City, Pennsylvania with Richard. San Diego, California with J80. Greenlee County, Arizona with Codster. We got Ireland in the house with Full of Hope. Again, thank you for staying up late with us. There is Waterloo, New York with Sharon. West Central Ohio with Dale. Southwest Ohio with Roxanne. Roxanne! You don't have to turn on the red light. Sorry, had to do it. Anyway, moving on. Waterloo, New York with Sharon. Let's see. We got Texas is in the house with Dog Creek Farm. Preston, West Virginia with Troy. Dallas, Texas with Grumpy. Rex Logan, West Virginia with Prepping with Rex. Central Virginia with Janet. Yatesville, Georgia with Tony. Western New York with Karen. Your ears. Come on now. I have a wonderful singing voice, especially if I'm singing to myself. Orlando, Florida with Tina. Uh, Scotland was here earlier. That's cool. Yep. Okie Ford said. So, again, guys, we're all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge, huge network of people. You know, we're the ones that can make a difference now. We definitely can make a difference after an event. We try to wake people up. I think it's important to continue to try to wake people up if we can at this point in time. Every person that we wake up is one less victim, one less person trying to take your stuff when the time comes. So, after an event, the way we can help is we can teach people, we can educate people. Colorado Springs with Jeremy, and I think that that's important that we try to do that. That's kind of always been my thing. I want to try to help people if I can. Just need to work on the high notes. Yeah, I can't sing that song. I'm more of a deeper voice singer. So, and I suck at singing. Period. Anyway, and I know that. But guess what? I sing anyway because I don't care. But if they listen, and that's a big if. Well, Dawn, they'll be very attentive after an event because they're going to want to know everything that they can that's going to help them to survive. So we're at 337. So now I'm thinking, can we get 13 more to hit 350? Oh, that's too funny. Hey, anyone is a bonus now, so let's just see, just for fun, if we can get close to 350. We're almost done anyway, but that's okay. But anyway, I want to thank my moderators, guys, who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. They are amazing, ladies and gentlemen, that moderate for me. Thank you so much. Very, very much appreciated. Also, I want to thank all you guys being here, supporting the channel. It is a lot of fun. I do enjoy these chats, and hopefully, we learn things and we can, figure some stuff out. And if it sets a few light bulbs off in somebody's head, then that would be awesome. But do the best that we can. That's all we can do. So, anyway, remember, folks, we really truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. If we could ever figure that one out, we truly will be in much, much better shape. She's right here. She's laying down. She's been quiet. She jumped up on me earlier in the stream. But, so, but anyway, you know, we lost my train of thought. We have to stop letting them divide us. They use race, religion, political affiliation to keep us fighting amongst each other. We need to come together as human beings. If we can do that, there's nothing that we can't accomplish. On a very small scale, you look at what we have done here at the homestead, and that's education, and shows you what can happen when people come together and work together. It's amazing what we've accomplished here, and and that's just a bunch of strangers coming together with like-mindedness in deciding we're going to work together. And it's amazing what happens when you do that. And I'm excited for this next year. I can't wait to see what we can get accomplished, because it's going to be awesome. And that's what I think. I got a fantastic group of people, and we're just going to continue to make progress. And that's it. So, also remember, guys, to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really, really important to tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. So we're at 344. Six more, guys. Can we hit 350? See, I was happy. I would have been happy hitting 325. Can we? Six more. Let's see if we can hit 350. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from achieving your goals is you. That's it. Nobody else. If you stay positive and stay away from the negativity, you're going to be just fine. Stay focused on what you can take care of your business, and you're going to be okay. All right. Set realistic goals and then set about to making them happen. Stay away from negative people to tell you what you can't accomplish because they're jealous. They suck. They want your life to suck because their life sucks. Be successful in spite of them. And that's, and again, it doesn't have to be about prepping. It doesn't have to be about living off grid. It's whatever goals that you've set for yourself that you want to accomplish. Here's the best part. What are you doing to change it? Right? Two trolls got kicked out tonight? That's not bad. That's not bad, JJ. What are you doing to change your situation? That's what I would say. If I like to ask people, what's your goal? What do you want to do? And they'll say, well, I want to do this or I want to do that. I go, what are you doing to make it happen? And they look at you like you got three heads. They're like, what? What are you doing to make it happen? And that's the key. If you're doing nothing, nothing's going to change. So that's just kind of the way we're at 347, 3 away. Should I stick around here for a minute and see if we can get 3 more thumbs up, guys? Because I know you're seeing 348. I'm seeing 348 now, so I still need 2 more. 2 more thumbs up. I know you guys see a different number than I do. I don't know why. You always see one less than I see. But we need 2 more thumbs up, and then we'll jump off. Just because, why not? We're that close to 350. We might as well hit 350. One more, guys. We're at 349. 1 more thumbs up, and then I'll jump off. So, but again, guys, just take care of your business. Be smart. Get a plan. Make it happen. Just work methodically, and you're going to get there. You're going to get there. So, and there we are, 352. Awesome. All right, guys, I am out of here. Have a great night. I will see you all in the next one. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now. And thank you. That was fun. All right.